down. When I move, then it's gonna move just like that. What's that? Messing up my ambiance. What up, y'all? Um, so yeah, I'm back with another episode of Ugly Truth Tuesday. I know how we do this. This is where I allow you to ask me any question you want, as long as the answer ain't gonna get nobody indicted or under any investigation and all of that. So, with that being said, welcome to the nation, y'all. Monster Nation, that is. I'm your host, your tour guide, your president. I'm the king around here. The landlord, owner, tenant, janitor, mops the damn floor. With you. With you. If you don't follow the rules. Rules are you gotta like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. If you're trying to be a taxpaying citizen of the nation, leave us a super chat or super thanks or cash app. We actually prefer the cash app or whatever. Do y'all. It's all good. Um, Cash app tag won't be in the description. You'll have to wait till after the live and all of that. I'll put all of that in the description because I don't know how to put it on the screen and all of that. So yeah, you know, it'll be there. If you planning on leaving comments, which this is, that's the whole moral, it's the whole object of this of tonight's exercise. Yeah, spell things correctly. You heard? That means monster, not monster. There's an A, no ER. It's helter skelter, not helter skelter. It's AH, no ER. Some boot camp click, CLIK. That's how you spell click. People mess that one up a lot. I forgive you, but just let you know it's still wrong. And the reason it makes a difference is because some people are just visitors here in the nation, and they don't get to if they just learning right now and they want to go do some research, if they go ahead and type in the wrong thing, they might not find what they're looking for. They might find some of what they're looking for, but not the mother lode. So plus it pisses the president off. So spell things correctly, please. One of the most important ones is this is BCC, not BBC. Pause. I'm not going to use the pause button. I got it packed away. I'm about to take a little road trip. But pause to that too, and to the packed away, because some people they pauseometer, they pause me to be on way high. Salute to them. But anyway, let's try to get to it. It's Ugly Truth Tuesday. Ask me anything, as long as whatever you ask me don't get nobody indicted. Let's see, where are we? What we got? What we got? I got my glasses on. So far, I see a lot of compliments. Salute to y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. How was that first album experience for me? Um, I don't know. I mean, it was a dope experience. I was real excited. I had just worked on the album with Smith and Wesson. I was locked up for the creation of Black Moon's first album. That was going on from 92 to 93. I came home to a complete album, and I was kind of hurt that I didn't make it on any of those songs, especially knowing that at least one of them, it was a spot for me on. That was You the Man or whatever. But so then after that, shortly after that, I got to work alongside Smith and Wesson on their first album, The Shining. So I was excited about that. So when it was my time, when it was me and Ruck time up the, it was our turn up the bat, I was pumped. I mean, it was probably one of the best times of my life. It was a little bit of nervousness, but nah, not really. If there was one thing I was always confident in, was the actual act of rapping. Not to say I don't get nervous when I go on stage and none of that, but just even before I was really good, I thought I was good when it come to rapping. So let's see. More questions. Did 50 kind of borrow my style, harmony, hook wise? I mean, I wasn't the first one to do that. You know what I mean? I could remember. Funny that you would ask me that. I could remember Ruck saying to me one time. Sean Price said to me, he was like, when 50 was first really blowing up, Ruck asked me, did it bother me? He was like, not that it bothered me that, because Ruck knew I was a 50 Cent fan. Like, but he's like, yo, do you feel, do it make you, how does it make you feel that son is, doing the harmonizing shit? You know what I'm saying? That was kind of your thing, and I actually I kind of fell back from it a little bit because of that. You know what I mean? But I've been looking to incorporate it more recently. You know what I mean? See if I could exercise that muscle. Pause. Bumping the hell out of the Wild West remix you did with. Okay, what's that? Let me get a shell shock on Spotify. Yes, I'm actually about. I was actually about to do it a couple of months ago, and then I heard something about the Spotify terms and policies, the revamping, and it kind of spooked me a little bit. But I think I'm gonna do it. Why y'all never did an album with MOP? Just never happened. I mean, Sean Price did an album with Lil Fame. If that counts. Producer Data, let me do your next music video. Send me a DM on IG. Let's talk about it there. You know what I mean? You can hit me up either on the on Rockness BCC on IG or on the Monster Nation page. Where I checked that one, but staff checked that one too. So you know what I mean? Was that the bro Spider Loke? Hold on a second. Was that the bro Spider Loke in the video Pay Up? I think you mean Pay Me, and no. Spider Loke was not in that video. I don't think Spider Loke is in any of my videos. I'm not sure I ever met son. Let me see what I got here. Ever consider doing another Helter Skelter? Yo, we actually working on another Helter Skelter project. We just moving slow on it. And my idea is, well, the idea is to get it done by next year, the 30th, anniversary of Nocturnal, so we could do something real, real special with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Did 5MC ever rap on Enter the Stage? Who's 5MC? You mean 5FT? Are you talking to Tex? Yes, he did rap on Enter the Stage. Why Sean Price didn't want to perform Therapy song? Because the energy is I mean, I didn't want to perform it either. Like neither one of us really like performing it. The energy was too relaxed, and we just kind of like headbanger hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? Pause. Like, we was the type we like high energy at our shows. You know what I'm saying? For that was our thing. How come the Good Dwellers would never officially BCC? Who are the Good Dwellers? Do you mean the Cellar Dwellers? I mean, they had their own thing. And listen, I'm a firm believer in you can't put, no matter how dope niggas are, you can't put too many people under the same umbrella. After that, you start to hurt the chances of the people on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like you got a strong starting five when this ain't like basketball. Not in that way. Like when you know one album come out, one artist come out, second artist come out, third artist, fourth artist come out. By the time you get to the fifth artist, the sixth artist, now the fans are looking for the next album from that first artist and that second artist. You know what I'm saying? The extra niggas become extra niggas. Let me see. I'm not going to get to all of y'all questions. Just know that if you want your question to take priority, y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. Let me see. Mm, YouTube just sent me a alarm. It says add a Q&A sticker. I think it's gone. It says something. I was going to read it to y'all, and then I was going to hit the button, but shit, wow, impatient. So we ain't doing that. My bad. It's my favorite song that I've ever made. I don't have one. Don't have one. And if you the Woo did it, if you're referring to what I was talking about as far as um by the time you get to the fifth artist, niggas is looking for the first artist again. You said the Woo survived that pattern, that negative stigma. I don't think so. I feel like Inspector Deck and like Inspector Deck says it all the time, like in interviews when like because Inspector Deck is one of the Son is an amazing MC, one of the best MCs in the Wu Tang, in my opinion. But he said in interviews, it's like, yo, when you part of the Avengers, when if Hulk done already smashed, and by the time Thor get there, Hulk done already smashed. It ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing, ain't even nothing left to thunder up. You know what I'm saying? Feel like you guard suffered, like Master Killer suffered that. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't become as big a success, like biggest stars. Like not the shit on their success. Like niggas did numbers. They all did what they did. They all sold more than me. You know what I mean? All of them. So, mm-hmm. Son said, right, no need for Hawkeye. How did that Beastie Boys cover happen with me and Lil Fame? Just through a mutual friend, my boy Phil Anastasia. It's a white guy who does hip hop, but he also was, he was doing the rock and roll album, and Beastie Boys was they are a hip hop album that infused, they're a hip hop group that they happen to infuse a lot of rock in they what you call it, in their music, in their sound. So he wanted to do a Beastie Boys cover. He enlisted two of his dope MC friends, and that's what had happened. It was that simple. Have I ever gotten outshined in a session by somebody that wasn't in my clique? Um, I I think so. I think so. Yeah, sometimes you may come across somebody and he just got it. Sometimes you don't just feel like it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just another dude's day. You gotta understand. I wrote my first rhyme. I was 11 years old. I only had that one rhyme for a year. You know what I'm saying? So I knew how to say that rap real good. So then when I turned 12, somewhere along that year, I wrote another verse. So now I had two verses for that year. I didn't write no more verses, but I knew how to deliver those two verses very well. By my third year, 13, I started writing verses and all of that. All of my habits started forming and all of that. And yeah, I've been in sessions with somebody, you know, were outside. Yeah, I remember in high school, because me and Elegy went to the same high school. I remember Elegy outshined me in a rap cipher in high school one time. I had a homeboy in Lafayette High School named Zakar. Um, he outshined me in a rap cipher one time. Freeze off, you know what I mean? I'm not sure the details of what he locked up, but I heard he locked up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, He outshined me once in the rap cipher. I mean, I outshined them both in rap ciphers too, but yeah, they got me a couple of times. You know what I mean? Along the way. Let me see. Let me see. What happens to Sean OG when you going to tell the fans? What do you mean what happened to Sean? He gone. Shoot, I lost the battle. And I'm just responding. I saw somebody still reacting to what I said. Said I can't be mad at Illa because Illa is family too. So yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say, but that's not inside, but it is inside. I like from the time pause from the time I met Illa G in high school. No matter of fact, I met Illa G before high school. Illa G is related to one of my day one Satman Street brothers. So I met Son really like Son been tied into our family for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, still, it happened before. Would I ever do a song or have I ever done a song with Smooth or Hustler and Trigger? Yes, I have done songs with them. Yeah, we did a song with Eric Sermon. No, I think Trigger the Gambler on the song with Helter Skelter and Eric Sermon and Starang Wonder had a small, little splash on it. But we also did a song with Smooth and Trigger. I've done a song with Smooth and Billy Danz and my man Lucky Dawn from Browns from my project Cephalo Peace. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff out there. You might have never heard them because there wasn't no budgets, no big label budgets put behind them. So you don't know. It's a lot of dope stuff out there that goes under the radar. But yeah, I have and I will and I am. I have, I would, and I am going to do more music with Smooth and Trigger. Now, the fact we on a new song right now, it's a big Brooklyn song done, put together by the homie Gat Taylor, formerly of the My Expert Opinion show, but of the Brooklyn Way web series and all that. He got he put together a song with wild Brooklyn artists and Smooth and Trigger on there. Like part one of it is out. I think it's probably gonna be about 4 parts. Y'all gonna have to forgive my gruff daddiness. I'm Scruff Daddy, not Puff Daddy. Anyway, you ever feel some type of way when Sean said he was the leader of the boot camp clique now? Yeah, I did. Like Sean, look, people always say some bullshit, right? But in all reality, he was though. Like it was just like a knee jerk reaction because in all reality, none of us are the leader. But in reality, like two things can be true at the same time, right? Like Steel and Buckshot usually between Steel and Buckshot, they usually call most of the shots. You understand what I'm saying? But Sean Price has such a dominant personality. When it got to the point where he was at the forefront of the crew, like he was the big draw. When Sean P is the guy who it was the hardest to get him to agree with certain things from jump. You understand what I'm saying? Like he had the most disagreeable personality. So when you got somebody like him that's on that don't care what nobody say, and he's just like hell no or up no, I'm not doing that, and the whole mission depends on whether if he don't do that, then it ain't no then that it ain't they don't want the boot camp. If it ain't no Sean P, it ain't no more boot camp. Like if it ain't no Sean P, they not booking boot camp. It got to that point. You understand what I'm saying? Where he was the biggest draw and everybody else was cold. So I'm like, I started to say to myself, like, Technically, he right. And I honestly feel like when he said it, he was just trolling. You understand what I'm saying? But you know, what I mean, I be at my feelings. I fell for the troll. You know what I'm saying? But I quickly realized he was right. You know what I mean? In a manner of speaking, though. Back in the day, you always wanted to hear me and Phantasm flow. Hmm? We got a song that never came out. It's not just me and him on it though. It's me, him. It's Helter Skelter, Cellar Dwellers, MOP, and another group called Chaotic Styling that y'all probably never heard of, but they was out here. Let me see. What did I think about Buster Rhymes getting at two streamers trying to disrespect him? Was he right or was he wrong? I mean, I'm not mad at it at all. Buster's from the old cloth. Buster been a star for a long time. A lot of us are not. We don't listen, B. We not with that. Like we're not here to be made fun of. You understand what I'm saying? Now, our whole, for the whole first 20 something years of our career, I mean, we've been accustomed or programmed or taught that the media don't operate that way. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole media has turned into the whole media has turned into National Enquirer. You understand what I'm saying? Where they want all of the dirt. They either want dirt on you or they want to ridicule you or both. And we don't come from that cloth, and I don't care. And even though that's the way it is now, I don't like it. I don't like it. And a lot of us don't like it. If that's why you notice most of the artists, most of everybody talking about all of the rappers are blogging now. All of the rappers, all of the rappers used to talk bad about the vloggers and all that. Now look, all of the washed up rappers are vlogging now. Well, first of all, washed up or not, you know what you don't hear the rappers doing? You don't hear the rappers dissing other rappers like that in their vlogs. It's not what they do. I mean, if they got a real life beef, if they have a real personal issue, they may throw shade, but that's not, they don't base that, when they talking about other rappers, they not being disrespectful to them. You know why? Because they actually come from a place where consequences exist. You understand what I'm saying? And they know that. And a lot of these streamers, these young boys, they didn't come up in that world. So they think, hey, it's just content. It's just content. Well, we come from a place where it's like, yo, it's just rap. It's just rap, but you would get punched in the face for it. Or worse. Because the world don't now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. Even though this internet world has been created and it comes with all of whatever nuances it come with, it does not negate the real world and real human emotions and real human consequences. It don't. No matter how this is it's just content. Or you got DJ Snackademics talk about that. You over here in my world right now with the blah 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 blah. He had it with Mano, right? Mano smoking him right now, in my opinion, but that might just be my bias. Mano's a rapper, and I don't like academics, but whatever. He like, you over here in my world, you can't. He literally begging Mano not to take it to the street. What he literally listen. I'm gonna talk about you. Could you please not come beat me up? He might as well have said it that blatant. You understand what I'm saying? You know why? Because because he know better, first of all. But second of all, he knows that Mano comes from a place where real consequences still mean something. They still exist. The internet, yeah, the internet may be a world, it may be a place, it may be a real, the internet is a real place. The internet ain't real. Yes, it is real, but so is the other real life. Let's see what I miss. Well, I'm not going back. What's the next question? Next question. Academics going to run straight to police. Listen, he literally begging Mano not to beat him up. Like, not, bro, you can't dictate this. That's when you, the fact that you think that you can dictate how another man handle you when you disrespect him is proof that you don't know shit about this real life shit. What's my favorite album of 2025? I don't got one. I ain't listened to none of the albums that came out, and I'm ashamed of myself. But I just haven't been in that space. I mean, I'm not ashamed, but I'm just saying. I know y'all won't probably kill me for it or talk bad about me, but yeah, no, I haven't. Who are some of the most impressive artists I've seen on stage live recently? Well, I wasn't there live, but I watched, a live show on YouTube. Lupe Fiasco surprised me once. I was really impressed by the fact that he sounds just like he sounds on the record on the stage. Like, he in shape, he work out, he ain't out there all winded, dying. Sometimes I'll be out there ready to pass out. I just be pushing through, right? Because I don't just rap. I'm out there jumping around. I got all these rap moves. Sometimes they literally involve jumping and stuff like that. But Method Man and Redman. Method Man made me throw my whole original performance in the garbage. I'm like, oh no, I need rap moves. I didn't even think when I first started out, I didn't have rap moves. I saw Method Man perform live once in Staten Island and was like, oh nah. And threw my whole set of rap moves in the garbage and came up with some new ones. But y'all gotta put a question mark and either put a question mark or send a super chat because I feel like I'm missing some of y'all questions. You know what I'm saying? How many fitteds do I own? Should definitely have a question mark. And I have no idea. I probably have over 1,000 hats. Like you got the ones that's back here. Sometimes you'll see it be more, it's like two stacks of two now. Sometimes you'll see stacks of three. There's a whole closet over there, like it's bins, like plastic, almost Tupperware type of bins full of them, about five of those in there, and a couple of shelves that got, yeah. How many glasses I own? One right now. One at work. I be going through these shits. Heard of Brother Ali? Yeah, I heard of Brother Ali. Tell niggas different. I think it's now. Tell niggas the difference from Cephalo, Van Dyke, LA, Brownville, MG Plaza, New Lots, Glenmore, etc. They all different sets of projects. You want me to spend a whole hour talking about the people there? I mean, it ain't no different. I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah, ain't no different. It's niggas doing nigga stuff. Favorite states to perform? New York, California. I like Virginia, Baltimore. I like the DMV area. Um, uh, let's see, Atlanta, and I'm not sure if it's for the, I actually like performing in Atlanta or I actually just like being in Atlanta. So I haven't done a show in Atlanta in a long time. It was live though. Yeah. Met Jazzy Faye at that show. You'd be surprised when I'd be surprised when somebody like Jazzy Faye from the mainstream, the more glossy, no disrespect, the more glossy sector of hip hop, even shows love, shows like I'd be shocked. I'd be pleasantly surprised. But yeah, those are some of the states that I like performing in. Have I ever been starstruck? Hmm. Good question. I don't know. Have I ever been starstruck? No, I don't think so. I mean, clarify what you mean when you say starstruck. Elaborate. I mean, like I've seen some people and been like, "Oh, that's such and such," you know what I mean, and wanted to meet him and went to meet him. You know what I mean? But nah, I don't. Maybe not. If that's not what you're talking about, then nah. I've always like kept my composure. I've never like lost it. Mm. Said I missed the epic show the other night with Raekwon and Havoc. Where at? Brooklyn. I was at that show. I just wasn't on stage. I wasn't backstage either. I was in the crowd. I arrived there in the middle of the show, and I wasn't able to acquire access to the gang. But yeah, I was there. Mm-mm-mm. 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 Word. I'm gonna post some footage from it soon too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I most definitely was in the building. I got there, they was already on stage. Let me see. I was at the bar getting a drink when Ghostface first came out. When Ghost came out, then Meth came out, then Nas came out. Once Nas came, no, the Locks came out first, then Nas came out. Once the Locks and when the Locks came out, I'm like, oh, I understand what's happening now, right? Because if it's just Mobb Deep, and I'm not to say just like it ain't not like if it's only Mobb Deep and Wu Tang, I'm usually able to acquire access to those types of situations. But like once the Locks came out, I'm like, okay, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't like I don't have a relationship with them. You know what I mean? Then when Nas came, I'm like, oh, like I don't have a relationship, even less of a relationship with Nas. I don't ever even actually remember meeting Nas. Like Strang tells me that me and Nas met before. I don't remember it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, Nas is one of the biggest stars, one of the richest men in hip hop. I don't not the pocket watch. I'm saying perceivably. I understand security is going to be a little different. Who influenced my bars? Who influences my bars? Um, Currently, or well, let's just start at the beginning. My style was crafted off of listening, like, the four grandmasters. I refer to them as my forefathers: Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, KRS-One, and Cool G Rap. Did I say that? Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap, KRS-One, and Rakim, right? But I also have forefathers on the West Coast as well, and they are NWA: Ice Cube, Eazy-E, MC Ram, and Dr. Dre. And I say that because I learned how to craft. I mimicked the crafting, the bar work from those East Coast forefathers, but it was my West Coast forefathers that showed me that I could say whatever I wanted to say. Like if I just wanted to curse you out in a rap, I could do that. I didn't learn that from my East Coast forefathers. Do I have any Nocturnal 96 stories? Probably. Nas is my go, but you should have had access because of who you are, because Meth was there and could have vouched for you. I mean, Meth was there, he could have vouched for me, but he was on stage. That's it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, niggas, I didn't know none of them niggas was gonna be there. Like, I just got to New York. I went to my sister's birthday celebration on Saturday, and on Sunday I wasn't even planning on going outside. My man called me and was like, "Yo, we going to the Raekwon joint?" I'm like, "Oh, word, Raekwon?" I'm like, "All right, I might have to slide through to that," right? So, I went. We went, and like everything was a surprise. Like I didn't holler at nobody. Like I thought my man had all the, he handled all of the handles. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not just my man from the hood. Like he got industry connects too. You know what I'm saying? So him inviting me, I'm thinking he already took care of the take cares. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm somebody, but at the same time, business is business, and the dude who's at that line of security don't know. They told him what they told him, and he got to go by that. Are there any other genres of music I really love besides hip hop? Yeah, of course. Right, right idea, what not. Why don't you start having members from the BCC appear on your live every now and again? Your fans will love it. Because it's hard to pin these niggas down. Pause. Thank you, JJ. I appreciate that. I did. I think I blacked out on that Gat Taylor joint too. But I ain't hear the rest of that's only part one. We ain't hear the rest of them. I don't know if my body is safe. Pause. My body bag is safe. I feel like I smoked that part one though. Do you know that Hove took your flow on New York with Alicia Keys? No, didn't know that. Rock, what MCs have you shot subliminals at? I don't think I do subliminals. Nah, Because you know why? I mean, when we first came in the game, we got in a beef with other rappers, right? We wasn't about no subliminal. We was our shots was direct. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. And a real beef started. It was real bloodshed. It was all this. You understand what I'm saying? So I was always of the mindset like, unless I'm really on that, then don't do that. I can't say the same for like some of my bandmates. I see somebody spelling stuff wrong. He said, "Man, he threw Biggie up." First of all, rest in peace, Biggie. That was a fake Biggie, and that wasn't subliminal. You know what I'm saying? Oh, salute to you, bad luck. I'm so focused that doesn't look like a question. I'm laughing though, because I know you didn't. I think I give up, y'all. I think I'm gonna cut my. I'm gonna get myself a haircut. This is out of hand. It's distracting. Again, people use question marks. I know I missed somebody something. I'm missing some of these questions because they don't look like questions. Bella Schwartz is monster, not monster. So A, no ER. Respectfully, pisses the president off. What was the studio session like for session at the Dog Hill? It was one of the dopest sessions ever. We had two mics. It was a big booth. Recording booth was it wasn't no small booth, and we had two mics set up, and it was facing each other, and we had two lines. We formed two lines at the microphones, and we just went like if you was who went first on that song. Ruck went first. Strang went second, so they were facing each other. If you rapped, whoever rapped after you, if you was on this mic, whoever rapped after you was on this mic. Pause and pause, and and so on and so forth down the line. So, and we was back then. It was early in the game, like like some of OGC hadn't that like OGC's first time like I'm sure about Louisville. I don't know about Strang for sure, but some people in the crew, this was like their first time in the studio, recording in the studio. The Smith and Wesson album. Not necessarily that song. Maybe that song, right? But back then you had to earn your right to punch in. What we wasn't punching in nothing. So if somebody messed up, we went all the way back to the beginning. And as tiring and as exhausting as that may sound, it was a lot of fun. It was very exciting. And we made magic out of it. You know what I'm saying? We did that. We did session at the Dog Hilly like that, and we did Heads Ain't Ready like that. You re-listen to Nocturnal and you got it. What is it? Do I think I have a good enough memory and skills to compete on a URL stage? Question marks. I almost missed that. Um, I don't know. I would probably be one of them niggas like Goods, Lux, or Mook who take wow long. Like they don't take a lot of battles because they take time to master and perfect their material. But you know, I think I could. Yeah. Who's my favorite Wu Tang member? Method Man. What inspired me to write Winner Circle? The producer and the beat. He was like, "Yo, we should do some songs that we can get syncing for. We can do some sync licensing, and so let's look to do something. No curses, motivational, no violence, blah 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 blah, but still you." I'm like, no curses, no violence, no robbery, no nothing, but still me. I'm like, all right, I got this. And inspirational. So I came up with Winner Circle. I also recorded Be Better in that session. And I think the next day I went in and I recorded No Guts, No Glory. They all follow the same principles. But what made me write Winner Circle specifically, it was the beat. When will you and Ghostface? So I'm ignoring these questions. Niggas ain't putting no question marks, nothing. B, y'all just like y'all ain't listening. Y'all don't care. Use punctuation, B. Please. Nigga said, why Helter Skelter never released the Ill Political? That was probably the first song we ever recorded together. By the time we started recording, it simply wasn't dope enough to us. Why don't you do more visuals for your music? I need a personal cameraman. Who wants to be that? Have most of the unreleased Sean P verses made it back to Bernadette? I don't know. That nigga did a lot of verses. I know a lot of them have, but I don't know if you can categorize it as most. 49 minutes. We going to 1 hour. Once the hour's done, we done. Whatever happened to Doc Holliday? He's locked up. Free Doc Holliday. It's my guy. I told a dope story about Doc a couple of weeks ago. Go to the it went down like this folder on Monster Nation. It's probably the last story up. The last story or the next to last. How much for a feature? We can't talk numbers here, but hit me on IG. Rocking this BCC on IG. Have I ever met DMX? Not that I remember. Yes, I need videos. Looking for questions. Good questions. Somebody just left a super chat, so we're gonna get to that question. Oh, he ain't have no question. Salute to you, Malarkey. Appreciate your contribution. See, if you'd asked the question, I'd have skipped the line. I'd have skipped all these niggas' questions. Respectfully. Have I ever did features with Polish rappers? I don't know. I mean, I want to say no, but I don't know. Because I've done features with a lot of people from, from overseas. And sometimes, like, I don't know what language they're speaking. It don't matter. As long as they speak well enough English to make the transaction happen. Yeah. I remember one time on Twitter, I'm locked out of my Twitter, so, you know what I mean? I don't hit me up there. But one time on Twitter, I was on Twitter, I'm scrolling and I see this somebody tagged me in a video that said it was like this is the German Helter Skelter or the Russian Helter Skelter or something like that. And when people say things like that, I immediately start they awoke the hater in me. I'm like, fuck out of here, right? I click on it and these niggas was fire. I was like, yo, these dudes really are the Polish or the German Helter Skelter. I don't remember what the name it was. I tried to find the tweet again. It was way far back. I mean, I ain't been in my Twitter in over, I want to say like a year and change now. But I'm talking years before that I got that. But anyway, it is what it is. What about a Fab Five album with Sean Price lyrics if they're still available? Yo, me and Top Dog actually just had a conversation about this. You know what I mean? We can't find the songs. I mean, because we started a Fab Five album before. You know what I'm saying? So we can't find the songs. We think Drew High has them. If anyone has them, Drew High has them. What y'all talking about? Sound like y'all having a whole look like y'all having a whole conversation in there without me. Hold on. How's Buckshot doing these days? He's good. Business buck, making deals and all of that. He's on his, you know what I'm saying? He's on his 1-2. Where's the Rang Wonder? Um, he out here. I mean, he working. He's working more with artists, with other artists than he is with himself, to my knowledge, you know what I'm saying? But he's on a mission separate from Boot Camp Click, I can tell you that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Rang One, the main gun. What we talking about? Drew High still managing talent? Yeah, actually he is. I don't know if it's rap talent, but I know Drew High has some sort of he works with Drew Ski, not the DJ, the comedian. Louisville is chilling. Right, y'all got 5 more minutes. Use your character strikes wisely. And you said Helton Skelter. Almost, my nigga, almost. Helton Skelter, best track on Eric Sermon's new album. Fix it. Let me see something. Who's my favorite rapper? Non-English? I ain't got no favorite rapper non-English. Probably that German Helter Skelter that dude put me on to whoever they was. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I don't understand that question. Sounds crazy. Helter Skelter. Let me see. What we got? What we got? What we got? What we got? In my opinion, do I feel? In your opinion, do you feel like Puffy was jealous of Big and Pac's friendships? Now thinking about it, any of Big's friendships, cause I think I remember Tech was also cool with him before the whole sample thing. Um, that's what they say. They say like I wasn't around for their relationship. Like when Biggie and Pac was cool with each other, I didn't know Pac then. I wasn't really into Pac's music then. I was into Biggie's music because Biggie was Brooklyn and everybody in Brooklyn was talking about it. You know what I'm saying, including Tech and Steel and just in general like. And it was an aggressive version of Biggie. I've always till this day I'm a fan. I'm a bigger fan of aggressive hip hop. When hip hop is anything other than aggressive, it might miss me. You know what I'm saying? And for a while, Pop had missed me. Now, granted, I was a fan of Digital Underground Pop, right? But Digital Underground was one of those anomalies. It was so different. You either liked it or you didn't, and I happened to love it. You know what I mean? And I like that version of Pop. But when he first came out with all of his solo stuff, the Brenda's Got a Baby and the I Get Around and all of that, I wasn't really a big fan of that stuff because there wasn't no aggression and keep your head up and all of that. I needed something that motivated me to punch on people. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Not motivated me to punch on people, but something that I could use as the backdrop to me punching on people because I used to punch on people back then. But anyway, I wasn't there. I wasn't privy to that. But all of the stories that people tell about their relationship, I mean, it's plausible. I've had a friend. I mean, he's still my friend, right? Like I had a friend when we was growing up. He would get jealous of my other friends. Like if he saw me getting close to other friends, he would feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? And nobody, or most of the homies gonna say that's female shit, this, that, and the third, whatever. Whatever. I'm not saying whether it is or whether it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. What I do know is it's not that uncommon. So yeah, it could have been low, low F, loaf machina. Hit me on IG. Send me a DM on IG. Rockness BCC on IG. Let me see. Excuse you. I never smoked bud on an airplane in my life. I missed that era. I didn't make it in the game in time for that. Let me see. go. You say, who would I say is the better group, NWA or Wu-Tang? Wu-Tang. Um, how do you hip hop generated by Delta Blues? No, nope, nope. Grew up in Brownsville in the 90s, Riverdale, Towers. Salute. Yeah, salute. Jab Rock. Nigga know the original name. Salute to you. Alright. Peace Almighty. Peace Almighty. It is 1 o'clock. Well, I mean, it has been 1 hour. It's not 1 o'clock. It's been an hour. On that note, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. We're gonna do this again every Tuesday. I'm trying to try to step my consistency game up. You know what I mean? That's what we all need in our life, a little bit of consistency. So I'm working on that. I might show up later on tonight with another live just because it's so much going on with the Diddy stuff, with the Daz and Snoop stuff. I'm really interested in that. Um the academics and Mano stuff, I'm interested in that. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's I might show back up tonight. Also, I owe y'all a story. It went down like this, so be on the lookout for that. All right, stay tuned. You already know, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, spell things correctly. It's monster, not monster. It's helter skelter, not helter skelter. You know what I mean? And it's BCC, not BBC. Pause. Pause, protesters. Get your ass out of here. Rest of y'all rock on, rock going.